la saison dernière du côté de l'Hapoel Eilat en Israël.
Là, il faut que tu mettes, Fabien, c'est quoi un rookie? Ça n'a rien à voir avec le chien, de toute façon.
Ne surtout pas laisser son équipe se faire décrocher par la chorale dans cette deuxième mi-temps. Nijal Pearson à son tour à 3 points, c'est raté pour former à Cholet. Boubacar Touré avec Nijal Pearson à 3 points et ça tombe dedans à son tour pour poste haut, on donne à Mathis Keita. Pearson qui va s'ouvrir son shoot et qui va le rentrer encore à 3 points. Nijal qui donne à Nijal Pearson, l'américain qui va tenter d'aller défier Michael Stockton. Il shoot à 3 points, c'est court. Oh, il était parti pour René. Keita avec Jackson Rove qui ressort avec Pearson. Pearson, un shoot compliqué, il le rentre. Plus c'est dur, plus il aime. Pour la chorale de Rouen. Et Pearson face à Rovaz. Pearson, il tente quelque chose de très compliqué et ce ballon est récupéré. Ah, cette mauvaise passe de Clément Cavallo, ballon touché par Michael Stockton, mais les Coraniens gardent la possession avec Pearson à 3 points, c'est raté. Le rebond pour Clément Cavallo, mais il y a une faute.
Avec Francisco. Pas beaucoup de solutions pour Francisco. Si là ce shoot à 3 points qui aurait fait du bien hein, cette équipe. Rohan avec désormais Steve Yofat à la manœuvre. Le shoot à 3 points, il est encore court, il était de action, il suffisait de dire ça pour que eh bien, les Rouennais récupèrent et ils s'amusent là. Avec un panier à 2 points.
Quoi? Trois points. Deux points. Nijal. 2 points.
La chorale qui a été à 85 points de moyenne sur la pré-saison n'en a mis que 12. Et un nouveau shoot raté à 3. La dernière possession de ce premier quart-temps. Nijal Pearson qui va attaquer le cercle. Le shoot à une ligne de fond. Il est dedans pour Pearson. Ça sert aussi à ça la Coupe de France. Permettre à des joueurs de prendre du temps de jeu pour essayer de rentrer chippé par Boubacar Touré. Allez, la chorale qui va essayer de faire son retard là, avec cette faute sur Nijal Pearson. Il a le vacheresse. Une remise en jeu pour les Rouennais. Steve Youfat qui refuse le shoot à 3 points. Il préfère donner à Nijal Pearson qui n'y arrive pas dans le corner, mais il était défendu chez Ronald March. March avec Pearson pour le shoot en fin de possession. À 3 points, c'est raté pour l'Américain. Et Matisse qui doit prouver à son coach qu'il peut compter sur lui cette saison. En rotation de Sylvain Francisco. Et plus encore lorsque Francisco est absent. Nijal Pearson. Pearson à 3 points. C'est dedans pour l'Américain de Ronald March sur Vincent Amselem. Sans pitié. March avec le jeune joueur anti-bois. Et Pearson à 3 points. C'est raté. Et le rebond. Thomasville avec Steve Youfat. Pearson qui va s'ouvrir un shoot. Et le raté à 3 points. Encore de la... Et on repasse pour Matisse Keita à 5 secondes de la fin de la possession. Keita avec cette passe compliquée pour Steve Youfat. Youfat qui va décaler Pearson, le shot à 3 points au buzzer, c'est raté. Le rebond pour Steve. Nijal Pearson face à Clinton Early. Il va shooter en fin de possession à 3 points. Ça rentre sur la tête de Touré en tête de raquette. Ouh là là que c'est court. C'est un sous-marin sauvé par Steve Youfat. Et Pearson en fin de possession. Et là cette fois-ci encore 18 points d'avance pour les Coralliens qui sont menés dans ce quatrième et dernier quart-temps 9 à 4. Encore un échec à 3 points pour du basket qui vit autour du parquet. Autour des photographes qui parfois prennent les joueurs sur le, sur le dos. Pearson avec Matisse Keita. Cavallo. Match moins serré que le 32e mène face à Vitré 43 à 38. Le match a débuté à 20h30. Nijal Pearson à 3 points. Ballon qui revient dans les mains Bako est en s'écartant du cercle. Il manque sa tentative. La contre-attaque avec Nigel Pearson. Pearson qui évite le contre mais qui ne marquera pas. Le rebond pour Boubacar Touré. Les Rouennais sont revenus à -1. 46 à 45 pour l'Asvel. Et une possession corallienne pour prendre l'avantage pour Nigel Pearson. À 3 points, c'est raté. Largement supérieur sur le papier. Mais qui n'a qu'un point d'avance à l'entame de ce troisième quart-temps. Et Nigel Pearson qui donne l'avantage. Francisco avec Pearson. 5 points pour Pearson. Et il rentre à 3 points. Gros shot de son lay-up. Thomasville pour la contre-attaque avec Nigel Pearson. Pas de jeu rapide pour les Rouennais, mais un shoot à 3 points. Il est raté. Et on va dire que les Rouennais, pour l'instant, il y a un seul trentenaire. C'est Steve Oyufat qui sera rejoint dans quelques semaines par Clément Cavallo. Contré Nigel Pearson par Kevarius High. Qui va passer par Nigel Pearson, l'américain. L'un des 3 rookies de la chorale de Rouen. C'est lui qui shoot à 3 points. Et ça rentre pour Nigel Pearson. Et Clément Cavallo face à Sam Endoy. Le duel qui continue. Pearson qui va refuser le shoot. Il va plutôt s'approcher pour tirer en tête de raquette. Ça rentre avant de rejoindre Rouen. Bon travail défensif de Thomasville. Et Pearson en échec là. Touré à l'épaule sur Ousmane Camara. Pearson qui va se décaler pour shooter. Ah, c'est court. Reddick à nouveau qui participe à la construction du jeu. Il décale Ronald March. Ça circule bien jusqu'à Nigel Pearson qui a pris le temps d'ajuster à 3 points. Voilà un système bien exécuté. Alors, qui va aller défier Boubacar Touré en 1 contre 1. Et Nigel Pearson, encore une interception pour l'américain. Ah, c'est l'anti-Marquis Reed, même si là il marque avec la faute. Premier match de préparation. Pearson avec Steve Oyufat. Pearson qui déclenche à 3 points. Ah, c'est raté. Le rebond pour DJ Cooper. Attaque le contre de Ronald March sur Nils Farroz. Ah, il est spectaculaire. Et derrière le panier de Nigel Pearson. March à 3 points. Ah, ça sort encore une fois, ça fait gamelle. Mais Nigel Pearson là qui traînait, qui a pris le rebond. Et qui marque ligne de fond. Avec la Francisco avec Steve Youfat. Pearson. Le shoot. Raté. Il avait un pied Jérôme Cazeneuve en Pro B. De Souffel à Rouen. En passant par Denain et Bourg-en-Bresse. C'est raté pour Pearson. Depuis. Ouais, Youfat avec Ronald March. Pearson face à Nils Farroz. Pearson qui shoot. C'est raté. Le rebond devant Boubacar Touré. Et ballon intercepté par la défense rouennaise. Et Pearson qui vient rajouter 2 points sur le service de Sylvain Francisco. Raté à 3 points le rebond pour Nigel Pearson. Pearson qui va dégainer. Un 3 points, c'est raté. Et la balle qui arrive d'un Chamon. Il espère le faire homologuer dans les 2 prochaines années. À 3 points, c'est raté pour Pearson. Le rebond de Clément Cavallo. Ici, derrière l'arc, à 2 sur 7. Nigel Pearson pour lui répondre. Et ça rentre. Et le rebond pour les Rouennais. Cavallo avec Pearson. Il va le prendre. À 3 points Pearson. Et voilà, on y est.
here in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, definitely. It's March Madness, Brant. You got to do what you got to do to win the ball game, and so this is going to come down to those extra possessions. Both these teams have played really.
Bobcats were held to 54 points. Shot clock down to 6 for Harrell. Pearson, long distance 2, range true for Knight. Defended well by the Bobcat junior. Her sophomore is Soule. The Bobcats want to attack through the way. Pearson a 3, right down the hatch for Nijal. Attempts, but they are the worst free throw shooting team in terms of percentage in the Sun Belt. Shot clock under 10. Pearson lines it up. Missed the 3 that time.
Williams was just double checking with the official on that reset of the shot clock, as you alluded to, Brant.
Pearson, the drive, the floater. Circles out and see position to the floor. Shot clock down to 5. Soule's got to hurry. Out to Pearson. Long 3, falling away. At a 30 tack, Pearson inside Soule. Had it ripped away. Ball knocked away again by Pearson. The pull-up and hits. Pearson has nothing.
Teams have to find a way to finish a ball game.
After several screens, Pearson finally has it from Terry and lays it in. 11. And again, a trip to the semifinals on the line. Inside Terry. Outside Pearson, a 3. Had it partially blocked there from late in the second half.
Yeah, they did. And Gums Freighter had some really good looks at the bucket down the stretch, but just could not get him to fall. And again, you don't know if that's due to fatigue. That was a great steal there by Nijal Pearson, getting his hands on the ball from Williams' pass deflection and took it all the way to the rack. Great play by the Sun Belt.
And 8 in attendance here this evening, and that is now the second largest crowd in program history. What a turnout tonight.
Huge turnout tonight, and you can, yeah, definitely. You've got to break the game down into segments. We'd always do that when I was coaching, and so at this point, you know, again, not trying to do a 15-point shot, but you've got to get.
But there is now some discussions of perhaps moving venues as well.
Yeah, again, if you've only got the necessary or the essential folks there, along with some fans.
Just once in the regular season, came in the finale just last Tuesday in Mobile. Here's Pearson, goes glass, the bank is open. And forced though, 4th inning score in the Sun Belt, only a junior, he'll be back. Pearson with the shot clock winding down, why not?
You're out of Austell, Georgia.
And the block is what he's been doing very well recently. Had a couple of them last game.
Open look off the iron, and there's Mitchell for his first rebound. A 3 for the first points of the game at Texas State. Shot clock at 10. Pearson for 3. And here comes Texas State. After the wild shot miss, Petway tried to knock it down. Double clutch and good. Count it for Texas State.
A great patience.
Flashing, cutting, loose ball, picked up. Texas State gets a turnover. The Jags coughing it up for just the second time. Coast to coast, and the lay-in. Well, shot clock at 7. Pearson. Step back 3. Curry swatted away. Got pretty physical under the bucket that time. Pearson off balance. Who goes straight to New Orleans in the Smoothie King Center? Shot clock at 2. Fade away. A reach for 5 from 3. Texas State 3 for 10 from distance. Pearson. Off the back of.
A lot on the bench with 3 fouls. I would assume after this under 8 media timeout, he'll come back in.
Pearson missed the 3. Lott almost made it a 4-point.
We'll give it everything they've got for the next couple of seconds.
Pearson. The putback, no one back. Harrell's got 3 threes. Will he take a deep one? From the corner. South Alabama long. Off the iron, Soule. Ahead to Pearson. The 3, way off the mark.
Quickly in for Pearson, and the pull-up is pure.
Makes that look easy. It's expected between these two teams.
They played late January, 64-62, the final. I'll tell you what, he really does.
There's going to be times where you just got to go one-on-one and get by your guy and try to create. And UTA has tried to do that, but Texas State is doing a really good job of not letting that happen.
Pearson saw a good look with a late close.
Touched upon a little bit earlier in the broadcast. When he took the job, obviously the program had had a lot of success here over the last 10, 15 years, but facilities were nothing they had to worry about, just unbelievable facilities. Well, I mean, you just got to put your best lineup out there together at the same time. Now, whether that may be the team that starts the game, but most importantly, it's more UTA going with that matchup zone here right out of the gate.
Nation out. Pearson looks to push for the Bobcats. He creates space with the push. And under the back.
Teams getting really physical with one another on both ends of the court. Have to see how loose the referees might let this one get.
Pearson, no. The offensive board, the putback missed. The third chance is good for.
If UTA can stay with their game plan and just limit Texas State to one possession, they'll have a chance to get back in this game.
But it's hard to stop Nijal Pearson. Back out for Davis. He takes the screen from Terry. 6 on the shot clock for Pearson. His shot is short, defended well on the fast. Giving up offensive rebounds. One half or the other has plagued both sides. With a lot of contact, Pearson flings it up. And Arlen Davis for Pearson, who's smothered by Warren. One senior on another. The fadeaway, yes! It was a 2-point win by UTA. A chance to win it at the end of regulation for Texas State. And they still trail. And on the breakaway. To the basket. No! Adams didn't get it. The second chance falls.
UTA sticking with that zone.
Davis, a scorer and distributor. He dumps it inside. Pearson. No, the long rebound. Davis works it right, looking to feed inside for Terry, the game's high scorer. He's fronted in the post. Pearson fades and hits.
Wow.
And has not seen the floor for quite some time. So two guys who can bring it up with Harrell and Davis, who's done it most of the night. 3, cashed in for Nijal Pearson by Azor. 8 on the shot clock. Steps into a straightaway 3, no.
David Azor, a pull-up off the break from about 17 feet.
Harrell missed it. Pearson, free throw line jumper, no. Frenzy of the night if that had fallen for Jackson Young.
Yeah, pretty good look there too for Jackson Young and Nijal Pearson.
Off the miss, Pearson collects his own shot.
Starting 5 for the Panthers, 4 players averaging double figures. Panthers a turnover. Pearson the step back, the 3. Right down the chute for
defense. I think that's one of the things that Texas State might be able to exploit a little bit, is to push the ball back at them to see if they can get some easy shots.
And the ball gets stuck between the Detroit Mercy.
Yeah. Freshman of the year in that conference and then came to Georgia State. He's a phenomenal offensive player.
He scored 20 or more 5 times this season to include a 20-point game at player for the Panthers this year. 14 points a game, 3rd of the conference in assists. Named preseason second team all Sun Belt. Pearson the misfire. Here at the staff for the Bobcats over the past 6 games, they have led for all but a possible 22 minutes, only trailing for about 9 minutes and change. Over 1 of 7 from the floor against the Mavericks on Thursday, 2 of 13 over the past 4 games. Pearson, he's way off, and there was a while with minutes though today due to that foul trouble. At a 4-point game with 3 minutes to go. Pearson draws Williams up in the air and gets the roll. He's got 7. Last two times he has played against Georgia State. And here he is on the attack following the turnover. Terry there on the putback, and Texas State's
guards that can put the ball on the deck and create offense. And Texas State, again, is a little bit shorthanded today.
Pearson, the drive right to the cup and puts it in.
Injury from the sideline, those are sort of rare.
He got hurt celebrating in the Sun Belt Conference Championship final against Georgia Southern that year. As Asbury scores in the conference, both teams deadlocked 11-6 in Sun Belt play. Shot clock down to 11 for Pearson. His three is off. State.
Yeah, they have some really athletic players that are skilled and long, and because of that, they're able to make a lot of plays on the defensive end, whether it's steals or blocks.
There's a big mismatch. The Bobcats want it. They get it into Terry's. They found it. Working back outside to Pearson for a three. Bobcats have now missed.
Again, length, skill, just a freshman. I know Coach Lanier's got to be excited about his future. Big
Shot
block.
swatted away by Thomas, but the putback good in Atlanta a couple of months ago, and a poor turnover from Williams. Pearson. Panthers thought it was a double dribble. The clock, though, is down to 5 for Marlon Davis. Out to Pearson, long three. Almost got it, and instead the rebound back.
Out for this last 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Bobcats enduring another long field goal drought. Pearson to end it. Yes. Nigel Pearson puts a Bobcat 10 again. Davis out to Pearson. The fadeaway. And the Panthers a chance to tie or take last Thursday against Little Rock. Shot clock out of 3 for Pearson. Puts it up. And the rebound tracked down by Pearson. Took it away from the Eagles and lays it in.
Yeah, Coach Byington was very complimentary of Texas State, saying he thinks they're playing the best basketball right now in the Sun Belt Conference. And as you mentioned, he was highly impressed with Soule and the energy he brings.
Eagles can't corral the rebound, and Pearson takes advantage at a chance.
Texas State has done a nice job attacking this zone, getting themselves in the position, and then there you see Nigel Pearson showing his excellent
on the glass. This game, as the score would indicate, has been all Texas State. Step back again. Pearson too strong, but Soule has another in the corner to Pearson against McCadden. Shot clock down to 10. McCadden falls down. Pearson knocks it down. Eagles looking for.
And again, Georgia Southern has come out this half, and it looks like a different team than we saw the first 20 minutes. And Texas State has got to continue to bring their A game and right on cue.
Has drawn the lead out at 22. And Carter now in the game, just 4. Both coming on dunks in the second half as Pearson picks up his 17th.
Up there going on in Arlington. Again, all these teams are so compacted in the standings, Brent. It's just going to be a crazy race to the final game finish. Texas State breaks the press before the 10 seconds expires, and again, Nigel Pearson is going to get a great look at a three. Pushed it a little bit to the left, but hustled. Relatively good job taking care of the basketball and not having live ball turnovers, which lead to easy baskets for the Eagles.
Pearson contested rainbow shot. Appalachia State missing their final 13 attempts. So you bridge the two games together. 3 of 28 from distance. The Bobcats, meanwhile, nope.
And that's a key loss for Texas State. You know, they have had the luxury all season of having 2 point guards in Marlon Davis and Mason Harrell that both bring a lot to.
Arm came down. You see underneath the left eye of Harrell that there was a mark left behind as Pearson lines up another from deep. And playing 10 minutes in the first, trying to give it a go, and wasn't able to remain in the game after halftime. Off the turnover, little scoop by Pearson, cleaned up. Mason Harrell out for the game with an undisclosed injury suffered on Thursday against Little Rock. Pearson, the drop step, the fadeaway. So much in his arsenal.
Defense of both teams has been exceptional, and the other is just sloppy play, just to put it bluntly.
3-on-1, Pearson to the cup. Pearson now with not in the lineup. Obviously this season was a senior, great player, and good ambassador for the program, and sorely missed this season from a scoring standpoint. And it is to get to the foul line. That was one of her keys to the game. Defend without fouling. No team has shot more free throws in the country than Arkansas State. They have shot. Arkansas State stuck on 3 of 19 shooting with 9 first half turnovers. Pearson long 3. Bobcats just 1 of 6 from chases down the rebound. And then Johnson lost it. Here's Nigel Pearson. The flush with the right hand. The
Big push right here out of the halftime.
Pearson the turnaround. And Terry the offensive rebound when these two met in Jonesboro last month. Davis the drive, the kick to Pearson for a three. But another offensive rebound. Interesting story on Johnson. If you recall, Nigel Pearson, of course, did not play Saturday against Appalachian State, returning home as the appropriately said.
And that's, like I said, a tough assignment for Marlon Davis in general, just because Fields is so quick. Big shot there by Nigel Pearson.
Long three. Texas State, again, looking to pick up. It's 9th win in the last 11. Pearson left open. Well, the Red Wolves.
Many times in doing these broadcasts that these teams are just, there's not a lot of separation.
Pearson to the rim, got blocked by Koosh. This is it out to Nigel Pearson. Pearson so far 17 points, leads all scores. Shakes and bakes, can't connect. Koosh now small and decides to pass to the three. Pearson knifes his way inside and ends a Red Wolves run. Pearson now with 500 or more in 3 consecutive years.
He is just rewriting the history books, Brant.
Make it 5:03.
I don't know, Brant.
See, I know more about it than you do.
I just know that the day just kept going over and over again.
Pearson long three. Won't go down.
Which they should against a man press, opening up the court so he could just bring the basketball down the floor.
This is the closest the Red Wolves have been in the second half, but again, Nigel Pearson the one. Fouls. Shot clock is down to 7. Here's Pearson. Pulls up. Scott the putback, no.
Saw State fans as it just tipped off. It wasn't to lack of effort on their part.
Pearson hoists. Short again, but another offensive cast to burn more than a minute off that clock.
And it's just brutal. It's brutal for the Red Wolves because they've played the possession all the way down to the last second to give it. Yeah, it was a tough loss. Starting 5 for Texas State is what we've seen most of the year, Brant. You got Adams, Harrell, Pearson, Small, and Terry. And I know they're really...
Out of Chicago, Pearson then counters with the defensive play of his own. On the drive to the rim, blocked again, but there to clean it up. Highlighting his amateur status playing professionally overseas this past summer.
Yeah, and you can see this zone, Texas State's going to have to really be on their A game and hit the boards, get some extra.
Oh, Noel splits the trap. Pasto deflected and taken away. Soulé to Pearson.
And you can see at this point, if you were ranking the toughness, Texas State is definitely playing a lot more physical and a lot tougher than the Little Rock Trojans are at this point in the ball.
3 minutes to go until halftime. Scott the drive and kick to Pearson. Contested jumper. Nigel Pearson with a hand in his...
Hedging for a longer period of time.
Bobcats now the half-court offense. Pearson over Noel. Nearly tipped in by Scott. Cats catch a massive break there.
That's a huge break. Again, he is such a great free throw shooter, and that's an oddity that he missed 2 in a row.
Missed 3 from Pearson, got his own rebound, and sticks it back in.
Little Rock.
Asbury, a no-look behind the back pass to Quentin Scott. Shot clocked out of 3. Pearson. And that's a big stack.
It is, especially because Texas State has struggled offensive rebounding throughout the season, so they've really done a nice job tonight against Little Rock.
Pearson got the 3 on that 13-foot pull-up as we approach 12 minutes to go in the second half.
And he's a big guy, Brant. 6'10", has some perimeter skills. He is a tough.
Also spent time as the head coach of the Washington Wizards and also several stops as an assistant coach in the NBA as well.
But also still scoring, putting the ball, getting some good shots on offense.
Adams finds Pearson. Bobcats have not shot well from 3.
Rock has a lot of confidence. You know, you mentioned earlier, Brant, how they've won a lot of close games this year.
Pearson got it. Big 3 for Nigel Pearson.
Box and 1 on Mr. Pearson.
Too short again, Pearson.
More than once this year, and they know how to play against it. On misses, Coastal's in man-to-man. On makes.
Wow, good help defense by Burton, but for Texas State. Coming up on 13 minutes to play here, first half, just an away from Conway rather. Jumper is too short. And the follow also in and out. Won't fall in, and for Coastal Carolina, 1-4-6 from three-point range here to start. Pearson,
Wow.
a three-pointer.
Athletic endeavor.
Pearson missed it, too strong. Katinga reset. Davis at the top gets the screen from Soule. Now back to Pearson. Long three-pointer is good.
Garrett Greenford. And nobody gets hurt. Everybody's up.
Watch your legs. 1 second. Pearson throws it up and hits it.
Wow.
Trying to answer. In and out. Tipped. Texas State quickly back the other way. Layup by Pearson. Gets it back. And off the glass and good. 5 straight points.
That was just a bailout. They had no idea where they were throwing that ball. Now you got to make up for it at this end.
Pearson, long three, hits another one. But it always starts on the defensive end.
Always does. They have held a team to 35 points. That's pretty darn good offensively.
Last basket was by Malik Wilson of Louisiana. He is an ultra awesome freshman to watch, and he'll be one to watch throughout tonight.
He's 12-3. Off the turnover, here's Pearson in transition. And Pearson, a much earlier start for him scoring.
He started off tonight on a tear already with 4 points.
The Cajuns' top scorer, Jalen Johnson, the miss. He's 0 for 2. Pearson nearly got 2-7 this year. Both wins in conference play over App State and Thursday at UTA. Asbury the miss. Pearson's putback won't go. Neither Starr and really the role players, really anybody, yet to get on track. The miss. Soule claimed offensive board though, as they look to expand upon a 6-point lead. Cajuns in his own defense. Open corner 3 for Pearson. Here's Pearson. Passes on the 3, instead drives, finishes, and it counts for Nijal Pearson. And out of this timeout at the foul line trying to complete it. And can't, but gets his own rebound and sticks it back in.
Handle it.
Shot clock under 10 for Scott. Looking for help. Pearson's got to put it up. Draws 2 defenders in the air and drills a game in a row. Coming off wins over ULM and UTA. And to Pearson, quick trigger. And the rebound corralled by Malik.
And I've even seen Texas State, who typically is more of a half-court offensive team, has had a bigger push off of a missed basket this game.
Now Pearson working baseline. Trying to shovel it inside. Shot swatted away by Wilson. Or Smith rather, and Smith is down. 3-pointer will count, but 15 minutes to go in the second half in this conference game. Against the zone defense, Pearson gets it back. Pearson puts it in deep.
It seems like both teams, first we went through the first 30 minutes of the game with neither team could really get in a rhythm, and now neither team can stop either one of them.
While working around the ankle injury earlier in the game.
It's a great play. I mean, you've got players that can do that. They can know how to take a
for a majority of the game. Same story as we saw 2 weeks ago at the Cajun Dome. Pearson lines it up. And Wilson the rebound. At home against South Alabama as the Jaguars salvage a game out of the Georgia road trip. And Coastal Carolina, which has been struggling mightily as of late, on the verge of a win.
He's just trying to find things that are going to work for this group of guys.
Here's Pearson. And can't end the Bobcats game, but wanted to be a Butler Bulldog. Not only did Butler not recruit him, nobody did, except ULM. And Coach Richard wanted to treat Ertl.
So that's a wear and tear concern that you have as the conference play continues.
Ertl leads the conference in minutes played per game over 37 and ranks 14th in the nation.
And without fouling.
Here's Pearson coming off the screen. Pearson is still scoring for White this time. And yes, Effortui, 7-1 junior out of Nigeria, one of a handful of foreign-born players for ULM. Nijal Pearson still.
Yeah, every game matters, but every game, one game is not more important than another game. And so as high as you get maybe after a win, you can't get that offensive rebound tip in.
It was an advantage for the Bobcats in the first meeting between these two 2 weeks ago. Pearson off the drop step, still has not made a field goal tonight.
Nothing like Level Land, Texas. That's where South Plains is. Beautiful country.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Open look for Pearson. He is still.
He's a capable three-point shooter, but I wouldn't say that's he's known for that. And he just elevated up and hit a shot.
Pearson, a lid still on the first lead. Terry against White. Back outside, Pearson. No. And the rebound corralled by Nick. In the post, Sule against Effortui. Back to Pearson. Can he hit? No. The small, another offense.
And Texas State's got a new shot clock and can take their time on this possession. Nijal gets a wide open 17-footer. And it's just not falling for him to the next 9 ball games at least because they have to have him out there.
In the quarter, Pearson. Finally on track. Pearson, you think in that instance he would try to drive against Small, who it's good to see him back into the game after suffering that lower leg injury. Off the miss, though, the
inside combo, and to see how Texas State bigs respond.
Another offensive rebound. Pearson's second made field goal tonight. Saw State still playing, although the Mountaineers lead by 7 with 3 minutes to go in Jonesboro. Inside Sule, and a throw down for the 3rd straight game. He's coming off the bench.
Yeah, and some of it, I think we talked with their coaching staff, and I think he has a comfort level. He's been pushing a little bit in the starting row, screens coming from different angles, and so Texas State has to communicate throughout the entire possession.
Pass inside, Pearson on the feed from Terry, and the Bobcats have opened the game with a
praise from Coach Casper, the play of Mason Harrell and of Marlon Davis.
Here's Pearson lining one up from the corner. Bobcats with the first.
Yeah, it's keeping his balance and be able to save that ball into Mason Harrell.
Nice handles there from Harrell. Here's Pearson. The Bobcats have opened the game on a 9-0.
That zone defense, and again, as a coach, you're trying to find something you can put your thumb on to change the momentum of the game, and you see Coach Ogden has dug into that back.
In this game from Strand Arena.
And I think that's something we can keep our eye on tonight, Brant. If you look at the rotations, UTA has gone deep into their bench already. Rebounds are going to come off longer. Texas State's got to locate their players and block them out, not give them second chances.
Good look at a 3 for Pearson.
State's got to adjust and be a little more aggressive on the defensive end.
Mavericks staying in his zone defense. They really haven't backed off of that since the 9-0 game opening run by Texas State.
It's going to be something to watch throughout the game, especially in the second half if he keeps heating up.
Here's Pearson against Jackson Young. Had it blocked. Last touch by Terry. And
a drive or a post touch at least to get some easy offense.
Harrell hesitated on a 3. Pearson does not. And Pearson connects. Puts a buck. Finally come away with the defensive board.
Yeah, Texas State has got to really do a better job of securing their player behind them, putting a body on them, and pulling boards.
Yeah, there's Pearson up top. Bobcats have a handful of reserves out there right now. 3 bench players on the floor. Pearson, long 3. And Narcissus, the rebound on the map. Small on the perimeter, picked up by Warren. And now Pearson goes to work. And Pearson's got 22 matches. Saw the beginning of that clip. You could see clearly the toes on the line for Davis, and a good call on the floor by the officials. Pearson no, and last into the offensive end. Preferably a 3. Can Pearson give it to him? Yes, he can. And a chance for a 4-point. 6.3 left into Terry. Back to Pearson for the win. No, and the Mavericks survive.
In man-to-man as Small has it, tries to get in the hands of Pearson, being guarded by Gay. He'll stop and take the jumper and hit it. Nijal Smith has been in the game. He's been very, very good. Shots put up no good, but Pearson has the rebound. He'll go back up with the jumper, and that one is all fire. Just rolls around. He'll kick it on the side to Harrell. His long three-pointer is off the back iron. Swatted out, though, to Pearson. He'll have the second chance shot and will can the jumper against the friendly roll. Shooting 29%, but nails his first one tonight.
He struggled a little bit from the field on Thursday also. Maybe a little winded as it was his first action in a while. Pearson from deep.
A lot of contact, no call on that end, and here come the Bobcats the other way again. They'll leave it for Pearson. His three ball is all fired. And Johnson runs that on the bench, goes down low to Sule. His spinning jumper is no good, but offensive rebound. They kick it back to Pearson. His jumper on the baseline is no good. Turn down the lay, the three-pointer. That's all fired, no good, but another offensive rebound for Small. And Pearson will fire up the three-pointer. That one's not good. Tyra Smith has the rebound. Davis out front, gets it to Pearson in the lane. His shot is up, but
guard Pearson and Harrell, and the other three play zone.
Davis gets it knocked away inside by Terry. The driving jumper is knocked away, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Indiana. And Texas State will be trying to build the lead again, but this one's knocked away, but goes back outside to Pearson. He'll put up the three-pointer. That's no good. Bad contact, no foul again. And here come the Bobcats the other way. Pearson for three. Nijal Pearson with his first back iron, no good. Asbury comes away with the rebound. Texas State in transition. Pearson again for three. That one rattles out, no good. After that,
Temple. But a nice pass on the other end by Gay.
Pearson gets the screen, launches the three, and hits it. Nijal Pearson with his third three-pointer in the ball game.
Mid-range pull-up jumper that time by Johnson. I think he wanted to shoot the three, but it was defended, put it on the floor, pull-up jumper.
Scott passes on the shot. Instead, he puts it in the hands of Pearson. That's never a bad.
Can't allow something at the rim.
Harrell will be the trigger man. Pearson gets it off. It's off, no good. Harrell back to Pearson. Down low and again back outside to Asbury. Pearson with the long three. That's all fired, no good. Temple comes away with the rebound. Goes back to Harrell. He'll get a screen from Sule. Pearson, deep three ball right in front of the bench is no good. And Temple.
As long as they have the basketball, Louisiana cannot catch up, so they will run some clock right here.
Pearson with the deep three ball.
Wow.
Texas State shooting at a 45% mark. Pearson with 5 on the clock, puts up the three ball. That is all fired, no good, but Harrell on the drive, tries to leave it off inside. Asbury, Pearson with a deep three ball off the back iron, no good. Johnson has the rebound.
To touch you the whole time. They don't push off, they don't try to run over you, but they're going to touch you the whole time.
It's been a very slow start offensively for both teams. That's of Texas, about roughly halfway between Austin and San Antonio.
Oh, it's a great area. You know, we always enjoyed going there to play.
And Nijal Pearson.
You know, you mentioned Davis coming into the game, number 5 there. He's averaging over 3 assists a game. I think they hit it on the rim while it was up there or got it above the rim.
16-foot jumper from straightaway by Pearson. If you don't have a guy who's working hard to get open, there is no target for the passer.
Yeah, you've got to get open and you got to finish when you get it.
There's a finish. Pearson bumping off 2 defenders for the Bobcats. Williams for 3, a little bit long. The rebound bounces deep. It hits the floor. Pearson on the run. Pearson with a crossover. Pearson high off the window.
Hard, which is unusual for him.
Hurdle misses with the left hand from the right side. And a scoop at the hoop. Rolls, and the largest lead of this game has been 2 points for Texas State. It's been 8 for Texas State. Can forge a tie on this possession. Pearson can't get it to go.
Yeah,
Pearson penetrates, kicks it back out, now takes the return pass.
Pearson's going to touch the ball.
He tried to scoop it up, and that's blocked by White.
See, they're setting a screen on Erdl and then coming off of it and then throwing it back to his man.
Pearson with a step back, leaves it a little bit short. Offensive rebound.
You know, ULM's 4 for 6. There's Pearson with it, going to work again.
It hit the screener, was going to cut to the bucket, made the pass before there was movement and a turnover. That could be costly. Pearson for three. Hodge pulls off.
Games that they've had between each other is going to come down to the wire.
The difference right now, the last two free throws by Ertl. Pearson, long three. Chases it down and gets it. 7 seconds to go. Texas State down by 3. Pearson takes the quick three over Williams. Got it. Oh, is he so silky smooth out?
Coming off a double-double against the Mavericks of UTA on Thursday. Pass inside to Pearson. His first shot attempt. And over the back.
State is attacking this zone. They're starting up there with a double high screen look. You see the two post players, Drew Tennell, in the game for the Bobcats.
Advantage with Pearson scoreless so far. Scott, a rare three. Rebound right back to Pearson. Pumps, window, scores, and will go to the foul line.
Just really got a lot. He's tough and physical, and he's just a tough matchup for a perimeter player.
Mountaineers back in the zone defense. Pearson shoots over it. Side, couldn't finish. Rebound ricochets off to Scott. Bobcats want to push. Pearson pulls up. And Pearson buries a shot.
They're going to be back there, but it isn't. There isn't a dominating team right now. I think Gonzaga's going to be there. I could see Duke being there. You know, it's hard to not say a can't. He's played 17, and then you've got a whole bunch of other guys that have got quality minutes tonight, so the scoring has been spread out to a lot of guys.
Pearson the early miss there, but Scott the rebound. Pearson another chance.
It's a lot of pressure. You see right there on Forrest to take hard shots, and it just sort of snowballs on you, and it's just real frustrating for all the players.
And Pearson to Kendall, and Sule the rebound for Texas State. 26-point lead, their largest today. Pearson, heat check, shot goes in. Has provided 18 points today.
Yeah, Texas State has really had contributions from both the starters and the reserves, and that's what's helped them build
the conference as well.
It is, Brant. There's just not a lot of separation. I don't think there's a dominating team necessarily in the Sun Belt this year. And so again, it's hard to come up with new words, Brant, to describe Nijal Pearson and what he's meant to this program in his 4 years. And again, as we talk about it, I believe you said the last 4 ball games he's hit
now five in a row, including today, and among active players, second most in the Sun Belt Conference, behind only Ike Smith of Georgia Southern. 4 fouls himself, and to avoid Davis from fouling out, they went to a zone defense, a rarity for Coach Casper, and they shut the Chanticleers down from that point on.
Hippolyte wasn't one of those 3, so I don't know if that's a good omen for Texas State, but they've definitely got to defend the three-point line tonight.
And Pearson, the answer 3 for Texas State. Out of the rim, well defended by Mason Harrell. In transition, Pearson pulls. Kind roll, no, just rolled.
On the offensive end for Texas State, bigger pushback in transition offense. Even though they didn't shoot it, they're really making the defense of Coastal Carolina have to get back and match up.
Nice fall away there from.
Yeah, he's a tremendous three-point shooter. He's a volume shooter, can score at all 3 levels. Texas State's got to make sure they know where he's at.
Drop step from Pearson, couldn't finish. Rebound in the second half on a 14-4 run. Pearson lines it up. And connects.
At some point, you're going to see some, hopefully, back cuts to the basket because of how much of they're overplaying in the half-court defense.
Pearson step back and hits again. Well, he is locked. We saw the entirety of the game, the matchup zone for the Trojans. Will the Bobcats be able to find an answer for it? They never truly did. Pearson can't connect on that.
Fly have been hitting the bottom of the net.
Davis finds Pearson. Pulls up. And knocks it down. Pearson's got a baker's dozen quite a bit both ways in the first half at different stages. Nice bounce pass, Pearson, and spins it in. Pearson's got 50
lead.
Air ball shot there from Burton, and here's Pearson at Texas State the other way. Pearson puts it up, puts it in. Nijal Pearson, not ranked 4th at the time, but currently yes, and coming off a big win in Lubbock the other night.
Yeah, that was a big win against Texas Tech. Nijal's just
their lead. More than 3 minutes gone by in the second half. Burton the block, but the ball saved by Sule. Pearson hits a 3. Nijal Pearson.
Still trying to find that second score tonight for Texas State.
Pearson, there's a three. Way off. And again, Bobcats though get it back anyway on the turnover. Pearson spins, drives, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Good. Isaiah Small gets the big rebound. Nice defensive stop for Texas State. Now they got to find a way to score.
Pearson, long distance, and it goes. Not for the Bobcats. A chance to tie or trim the lead down in one of this possession. Pearson, long two. And Katinga.
Guns for hire somewhere.
Bobcats mired in the field goal drought right now. Pearson trying to end it. Rebound Terry. Back to Pearson. And puts it back up. Ball volleyballs around and finally saved by Asbury. Asbury drives, kicks, Pearson three. No. And finally Devontae.
The feeling that Texas State is down 10 or 15 points. It's a 4-point ball game. And so they don't need to take bad shots or hurried shots. There's a perfect shot by Nijal. That tells you there's a lot of parity in the Sun Belt Conference and that these guys are well coached. Whether they're at home or on the road, they're going to show up to play, and having a home court
brings a lot of energy and toughness to this Trojan team. Here's Pearson so far, just 2 points, has not attempted a shot until now, and misses his first. Trojans have not scored in close to 4 minutes, and again turn it over. Bobcats transition, Pearson shot, counts, and the foul.
Both coaches are not hesitating to go to their bench tonight.
We were told we could expect to see 13 or so Trojans play this evening. Pearson in and out. Tennille the off-freak Williams, 6'8", 260 freshman out of Queens, New York. Shot clock to 10. Pearson, drop step, finish. No. Tip in.
Troy is really doing a good job on the defensive end. I think they're the top defensive efficiency team in the league. And a lot of that's because of their player style. They're all started some games, and then he's been coming in as a reserve off the bench some. They're going right now a little bit 4 out, 1 in. And that's a tough shot, but Nijal Pearson delivered. And then you're leaving a wide open shooter in the corner.
Out of 12 Sun Belt teams, the Trojans rank 11th in three-point shooting. Pearson not the answer.
Find some creases in the zone. Really good feed inside from Mason Harrell to Terry, but he gets stuffed.
Had it blocked. Pearson got it back and lays it in. Pearson now.
Simple. Either you put the ball in the basket or you don't. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins.
Pearson left open. That lid stays.
And again, Troy is staying in that matchup zone. It's continuing to give Texas State some challenges. Nijal Pearson with a wide open three, and he nails it. Staying in that matchup zone, Texas State has not shown consistently they can attack it. I would say intelligently, meaning getting really high percentage shots.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 7:30 left in this game, 7-point Trojan lead. They have led throughout the second half. Pearson drives, shot short. Terry the rebound. 5% from deep this year, a player that has struggled with his shot throughout his career. Harrell, Pearson for the baseline. A contested shot.
So Texas State can't grab the free throw and run down the other way. Good coaching by him.
Pearson doesn't hesitate. Unable to connect.
Right there by Leftridge.
An exclamation left-handed or right-handed throwdown from Leftridge as Pearson hits a three.
Arkansas State stand with the man-to-man.
4 to shoot. Pearson, the pull-up.
That's a tough shot by Pearson.
So Nijal in December, and it's tied at 14. Harrell thought about it from 3. That's a 3, and that's Pearson.
Pearson can't leave. Coach Casper said on the defensive end is where Pearson needs to improve.
He'll take the 3. Won't go. Cush the rim. Blocked. He was bound and determined to get that basket. Now quickly the other end, and Pearson with the finish. Play Arkansas State 2-1. Fields, that was in a bad spot right there, and quickly Pearson to the other end, and count it.
Big strong move by Pearson.
All right, Texas State now.
Yep. Arkansas State's in the man-to-man defense.
Pearson down the lane. Oh,
He's
what a
tough.
finish right there.
He's
huh?
tough.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, and you better believe Texas State going to be somewhere in the Sun Belt. I mean, top 5 teams in the Sun Belt. Arkansas State's in the man-to-man defense.
Tough shot there, can't get it to go. And the rebound pulled away by Scott.
Getting into the game now.
Left to go here in Jonesboro. .240 left to go. Harrell and Davis both in there now. And run into a team like Arkansas State today that's not shooting the ball very well.
His way inside, and he coughs it up. Already 3 turnovers for the Trojans. Pearson, the pull-up over Knoll. And Isaiah Small coming down with the kick out to Pearson. Pearson, he kicks it to the corner. Isaiah Small triple. And a putback by Pearson, and we're again facing the double. Pearson tries the tough 3 and connects.
That was a good position.
He's going to take it all the way, and another blown lay-in.
That's 3 consecutive trips, Ben, where Little Rock hasn't been able to finish at the basket.
And Pearson. Pearson, the pull-up over Coupette. And Magnon. Asbury. Guarded by Magnon, now to Harrell. Pearson rims in and out. That one was halfway down as Scott. Pearson left open, knocks it down. And Davis with a shot clock at 5 finds Pearson. Pearson, the pull-up over Kamani. Splash! Nigel Pearson when you need a big bucket. This Trojan team is a second-half ball club. They play especially better in the final 20 minutes as Pearson throws up the tough follow-away, and Coupette comes down. On the floor right now, Ben Coupette, the same starters along with Marquise Knoll, Stulich, Root Munyong, and Kamani Johnson. Pearson, the hop step inside, and he can't get that one to roll in.
Days ago, he made a number of 3s in a scrimmage they had.
Pearson left open on the ball screen and might have had that one partially. Skip pass, Small, kick out, Pearson, pull up, long, too good.
That was a head.
Davis trying to work around Stulich. Pearson, the pull up on a dime and connects. For 3 tonight, he's looking to get going from beyond the arc. Here's Harrell, who just knocked down the 3. Pearson, nice pump fake, left open for 3, and leaves that one short. Stulich coming down with 16. Harrell with the shot clock at 5. Goes to Wirtz, keeps his balance. Pearson, long 3, splash! Nigel Pearson to play. Pearson. They need a big bucket from him right now. Blocked from behind by Magnon. They get it into Pearson. He's got to fire up a quick shot. Off the back rim, off it.
Oh, no doubt about it. Once you let that adrenaline down, you start feeling all the pain.
Shot clock. Pearson got that one out at the buzzer, didn't foul. It's off to Asbury. There's Pearson. He got it away once more. That hand comes in there. And the save. Doesn't get that one. Rebound, back out. Pearson's going to try one top of the key. Get that one. Long, Joe Jones on the baseline. Back out, tries to get it to Linder. Turnover. Pearson back the other way. Got blocked by Linder.
Livy's not being a part of the offense. This year they are.
The prominent part of this offense. Here's Pearson. Shooting, missing that time. Jones the rebound. Seconds in the paint. Ball knocked away. Harrell gets the hand in there. Back comes Texas State. Pearson for 3. Doesn't get it.
You know both teams are looking to execute here, so they can.
Pearson drives in. Look at that fake. Shot doesn't go. And Justin Asbury with it. Terry. Pearson. Now he pulls up for the jumper. Got that one. He wanted the shot the Panthers wanted to get, but they had to get one off. Back the other way comes Texas State. Morales to the corner. Pearson shooting, missing that time. He gets his own Bobcats.
Good defense right there.
He's up to Terry. Terry with the pass to Pearson. Shot blocked by Jalen Thomas. Terry's there. Nobody.
He's always looking for an opportunity to run.
Pearson misses. Ball to
everything we had just an inkling of doubt about.
Absolutely. There's Pearson inside, makes a little space, puts up the short jumper that gets the members.
He's going to catch them off the rim and dunk those.
Pearson drives and slams it off the side of the backboard. Still
was running through there.
So the ball goes right back to Texas State. Pearson thinks about it, now takes the three. Missing that time, and Eamon Wilson's there. On this one for Georgia State.
Yes, Sam, I tell you, was equally as frustrating for a team like Texas State. It's been on the road, dropped their last.
Green from Soule. Good ball movement from Texas State. Pearson pulls up from the free throw line. That's the Bobcats' first.
As well, so they have a bit of an adjusted lineup, medium-sized lineup. Pretty good matchups with Texas State, though.
Pearson floater, no good. Rebounded by Viti. Pearson fakes on the three. Now will fire from long range. In and out. Trying to find Dawkins, stolen away. Harrell finds Pearson. He'll fire from long range. Offensive rebound. Poked out of the hands of Dawkins. Now Harrell to Pearson. Pearson open for two. And that's his first made field goal after over a lot. Was able to get that situated as the half rolled along. Pearson, long three, and he hits it. Terry guarded by Carter, finds a cutting Pearson down low. He can't finish. Good defense from McKee. Guarded by Smith. Nowhere to go. Clock at 3. He's got a fire from long range, and he hits it. Texas State will not call a timeout. Pearson to tie. No good. Time.
The Swedes. So far, Asbury scored all 5 Texas State points. Big mismatch there. And Pearson simply pulls up over the
Bethany Swedes have come to play. They're not going to call foul and say, oh, we played last night. They're coming out with a lot of energy and done a really nice job on the offensive end against. It was a crazy game for the fans, and a loss for Texas State.
Pearson
Enough to the shooters, and again, some of that credit has to go to Bethany. They're knocking down shots, Brant.
Braylon Young hitting that three. Pearson short, and Bethany College again. And now the three-point shooting cooling off just a little bit for Bethany. They are now only 60% from three. Pearson, nice drive, can't finish. And they're
why from the three-point line. That's the way they're gonna be able to stay in the basketball game with Texas State's athleticism.
Pearson to miss. Young to
make consistently. They've got to find an interior presence as they get ready for Sun Belt play. It just can't all rely on perimeter shooting.
Oh, nice drive from Pearson off the held to 3. Harrell on the other end. Looking for Terry. Had it poked away. Pearson got it back, and there is his 5th field goal. Conversely, they've made 17 buckets so far. Just 3 from beyond the arc. And Pearson looking for a 4th. Got it.
Really not.
Jones to connect on the 3 to complete that play. Pearson wide open and hits again. Pearson's got 18.
Conference games were at home, which typically is not really, it's sort of unheard of.
Here's Pearson from deep and rattles it home. Capping off.
The offensive rhythm, changing defenses, going to a little bit of zone, which you sort of expected to see by the way, by the way that Texas State's been playing on offense. Great follow. Best offensive threat they have at Bethany is Justin Jones, and he's not really got on track yet this game.
Pearson inside. That'll count, and the foul. 73.1%.
Yeah, and again, the shot selection, they've been at the basket. And of course, as I say, that Nijal Pearson.
You have a final from Bradley. Tough day at the office for the Eagles out of the Sun Belt. They lose to the Braves 81-51, a 30-point loss.
I think we're going to be in for a treat tonight, Brant. Let's look here in a minute at the Texas State starters.
There is a change for the Bobcats. Caleb Asbury starting in place of Deshaun.
Texas State's doing a good job of moving the ball around the perimeter, really not sticking the ball in one spot, but getting a lot of movement, making UTSA have to work on defense.
On 3 of 5 shooting, 2-point lead for the Bobcats. Here's Pearson, lines up a 3. A little battle for the read for a player averaging double that this season. Good handles from Harrell, but Jackson caught up defensively. Pearson, answer 3, won't go, and Barisic. Bobcats trying to capitalize off the defensive stop. Pearson hits for Texas State, and for Pearson afternoon. Here's Pearson on the dribble, cut off by Barisic. Tough jumper, and for the game here this afternoon. Here's Terry, backing down Germany. Pearson on the drive with the right hand, cuts the lead down to 5. Later coached under Coach Kruger, or with him at Oklahoma. Called Coach Kruger and his dad, 2 big influences in his career. Played for his dad. Fan base right behind the Roadrunner bench, getting into it right now. Jackson having himself a first half. Pearson goes window. Wallace the rebound. Jackson, no. And the Bobcats can play for their first lead since a 13:58 mark of the first half. Pearson got it. Little floaters up. Got his own rebound, and the Bobcats can reset. Pearson from long range. Small fire here tonight.
Unbelievable shot, Brant. I mean, falling away and still hits nothing but the bottom of the net. And then you come back the other end and another incredible.
A really big 3 for UTSA.
It would have been. That would have been a double-digit league. Really probably taking the wind out of the sails for Texas State, but instead they come down. Got a 3, looks like a jump.
Go.
He's got ice in his veins tonight, Brant. That was a great shot over the length of Isaiah Small.
Pearson answered 3.
They haven't. They've been 4-4 here right down the stretch.
Here's Pearson. And the dunk put back from Asbury.
Ball went inside. There's a double down, and it almost looked like Texas State went into a 2-3 zone.
Nigel,
watch that.
Pearson hanging in the air short.
Time to Nate Hinton.
Texas State leads the Sun Belt Conference in field goal percentage defense. Cougars so far 3 of 6. Pearson off the mark. Programs around, including at Texas State the last 3 years.
Now the success continued by Brad Underwood, who had success and then went to Oklahoma State and Illinois, and right now Kyle Keller.
Right at UNLV, 20 points in the loss at Baylor.
Isaiah Small being physical with Fabian White, trying to block him from the cut, but this.
A pass off the hand of Sule, who saves it to Pearson. Deshaun Davidson draws the foul.
You know, I don't mean to keep harping on it, but look, if you're Danny Casper and you're going to play a 5'9" guard, what you're saying is there are some deficiencies. We're going to.
Today. 3 minutes to go first half.
Has made 7 of them, but he is an elite level scorer. And he's one of those kids that you almost look at him and you can tell if he's in rhythm or not.
Pearson inside Grimes, ties things up.
I'm not sure what.
Harris now on Pearson, who fires from 3. Harris might have gotten a piece, but
see the ability to come down and go right back up.
They get Fabian White for his first foul.
Oh.
Pearson follows up his own shot. Harris another block. Hinton though throws it away. Bobcats with numbers. Pearson for 2. Shot. Marlon Davis Jr. from Westbury Christian here in Houston. 57 left, and a fun one here at the Fertitta Center. Sasser. Foul on the rebound on the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's on Pearson. That's his 5th.
On the board.
Again, Texas State, Nijal Pearson gets his first shot of the game.
Competitive 3-point game. Offensively ugly at times, but what else would you expect? The Texas State game, Bobcats like to drag it through the mud as Nijal drills it from the outside, and the Hawks are within 2. Answer 3, Pearson, rebound, about.
I think this is the first time, Brant, we've seen Texas State work against the zone this year. They've been pretty much facing mainly man-to-man. And Sule's really working inside. They're not able to get him a touch.
Here's Pearson on the pull-up. Rebound so well for 28 seconds, all for Harrell to make that shot, and Davis a steal. Pearson in transition, off the Euro step. Sule in the putback, no, and a foul. Coach Gallagher telling us the team will play man-to-man 80% of the time and go to this 1-3-1 zone 20% of the time. Tough shot for Pearson, and the ball now trying to dig out of an 11-point hole. Ball stripped by Pearson to take it away. Bobcats have numbers. Pearson the Euro step. Sule on the putback. Hit it well by Nijal Pearson. Pearson left open for 3. Sule the rebound.
He's battling again for Hartford. Is going to defend on the development of these young guys through the preseason and early in the conference play. And they're a team that could be right. Threw up something specific he wanted out of this possession. Hartford sticking with their zone. Nice little flash there by Nijal Pearson across for a 15-footer.
On the attempt from P.J. Henry. Pearson from the corner. His 3 is good. Nijal.
7 or 8 seconds left on the clock.
Here's Pearson. Shot clock down to 7. On the pick and roll. Hits from 18.
Team is a transition type team.
Out front, Pearson fakes a 3. Drives instead. Contested runner taken away by Clay Gaiman. As it's carrying the Bobcats. Same starting 5 they've had all season long.
Yeah, Abilene's changed up their starters throughout the season thus far. Coach Casper's stuck.
On Friday, Scott Blassance, again, not returning for Abilene Christian this year. Pearson 3 counts, and the foul. The rim, Wildcats back in the lead, courtesy of the former Texas State Bobcat. Pearson 3-pointer. Nijal Pearson, first time this season. Again, Abilene Christian playing for his first road win of the year. Good pressure defense early on from the Wildcats. Pearson lining up a 3. And here's
campaign here at Texas State.
More good defense from Isaiah Small. Took it away from Gaiman. Here's Pearson, 3-pointer. Trying to tie the game.
Low block. Great steal, good hands.
Courtesy of Davidson. Here's Pearson on the take, and Reggie Miller from behind got a piece.
The offensive end. A lot of times when you're coaching, it's not about what you're running, it's just more to keep the other team off balance.
Pearson misfires.
Get it to Nijal Pearson. That would be another great option.
Here's Pearson so far today. 8 points, but on just 2 of 8 shooting. And Pearson, that'll go. And the foul to Chip.
And again, this is a time when Texas State's got to step up in the offensive end and really knock down a big shot. And that's the guy right there I think Texas State would want to take it, Nijal Pearson.
Christian in close to 7 minutes. And right now running a 12-0 run. Pearson got free and lays it in, and the lead is 8. Timeout.
Abilene Christian did, and then they got into that patented 3-quarter court press trying to slow down Texas State.
Small kicks, Pearson corner. And the rebound from Lee. Pearson, Harrell from the corner. Rebound Sule. He's played so well off the bench. Pearson knocks it in. He's got
Christian, again, just some token pressure, not letting them just walk the ball down. Again, they've got to get a stop, and a great drive there by Nijal Pearson down the base.
Loses it in the lane. Taken away by Nijal Pearson. Here's Pearson, coast to coast. Euro step, throws it up on the floater and gets the bounce.
6 foot
is Hardy. The timer's down to 3, and the pass is intercepted. It is stolen away by Pearson. Takes it inside, off the glass, high off the glass for 2. There were 3 players collapsing in the lane for Texas State.
Yeah.
Was there for 13 years. So we're glad we got everything situated. The 3-point shot taken outside. The junior, JUCO player, Seward County Community College. Oh, inside there's Pearson underneath Jong for 2 more.
Rhythm going.
Popping out up top, it's Eric Terry. And there goes Pearson, 3-point range. The
will show up early and get plenty of shots up. He puts a lot of work into his game.
Inbounds to Pearson, 3-point range. That won't stick. Much out of Isaiah Small tonight. He's a guy that could shoot from the perimeter. Hardy. And the fadeaway jumper. Pearson is good and 1. Can block. Small had it. He gets bumped. He throws it almost away. Pearson will take it all the way to the lane. Lay it up for 2. Coleman for UNLV in the offseason. TJ Otzelberger gave him a scholarship. That's going to be a 2-pointer. And off the miss. Now Small against Tillman. Davidson and Pearson. 9 seconds on the shot clock. His fadeaway jumper, free throw line won't go down. And Vice President of the United States, Lyndon B. Johnson. 7 on the shot clock. Here's Pearson. Triple team, throws it up. He was off balance, wanted a foul. An injury that he sustained a couple of years ago. And here's Davis. And that's an awkward looking shot by Pearson. Offensive rebound. 3-pointer on the way. Pearson, and that rings out of there. Rolling the offense. The bounce pass on the high post, Eric Terry. And here's the hesitation dribble. The layup attempt no good by Pearson. Pearson gets to foul and try to shorten this game.
I think right now you just need to play aggressive.
Pearson in the lane, short range jumper. That's money. That is money over a lot.
We'll see what they do now. You see they're matching up, and they're going to go from a zone, half-court zone to a man-to-man defense on Texas State.
Pearson contested 3.
Here at Texas State, so I'm looking forward to watching him play the rest of this half and second half here too.
Pearson on the pull-up. And the rebound doesn't pull the trigger this time following the inbounds pass. Pearson looking for his first bucket. Won't come here. Maybe it comes here. Instead, an easy turnover on the steal for Small.
A great defense by Nijal down there, one-on-one defense.
Off the pump fake, takes the long 2 and connects it. Pearson scoreless. He's down by Small. That is his 8th rebound of the game, 2 shy of a double-double. Pearson on the take, off the glass. No. Rebound.
First half with only 4 points being scored in the entire by either team.
Shot clock down to 4. Pearson from the top 4. 3 puts it in. He's now 20 shy of passing the great Dante Mathis for 3rd of the all-time scoring list at Texas State. Pearson tries again, way off. And the Tigers finally on the board here in the second half.
You can tell they're going back off of missed shots, getting into that half-court trap.
And that'll count a foul for Nigel Pearson. Making baskets, the inability to go into this defense.
Yeah, they have struggled. When they can score, they can set up their press. And
Charles Sharp to become the all-time leading scorer in program history. Off the inbounds pass, had a rush to shot with a shot clock down to 2.
State is. Seeing if they can get a good look at this possession. I still look a little discombobulated for some reason.
The runner by Pearson pops away. Soleil committed 38.
Yeah, and I know that's something Coach Casper will address. They've got to take care of the basketball. That's just giving the other team more opportunities to score. Let's see if Texas State can now get them a good offensive possession. At least get a good look at the basket. They're doubling down the post. Nigel got a nice shot fake. Nice little 3-foot jumper there.
Last team to beat them, UTSA, in November of 2017. Pearson. That one spins in for Pearson.
Called by the officials, and we saw a warning here very early in this game.
Texas State with the ball. There's their starters. Shot up, no good.
Avion Mitchell and Mark Vital made just enough eye contact to communicate without saying anything. That's the play they were looking for. Perfect pass by Mitchell.
High flying
from the basket, which is exactly where they want it to be. Matt Meyer with yet another really good pass. I don't know that he'll get credit for the assist, but he has 2 in the game already.
Short jumper left side. Starters tonight. In fact, Jared Butler's back out there, so it's the starting 5 back on the floor for Coach Drew. There's a 3 left side, and that one is good.
Bears not able to get second shot opportunities in this game, and typically they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. Not necessarily seen as a zone buster. They're not going to let him just have free reign out there, but he's not a guy they typically worry about much, but he gets a 3 there.
Free throw line jumper just.
Texas State has gotten the pace where they like it, and they're taking some time off the clock every offensive possession, and they get the ball right there to Pearson. Pearson comes up. That's a block.
That's a great shot of a Mark Vital block. Texas State inbounding on their baseline. Baseline jumper, no at it.
Yeah, and turned down a 3 from the corner. I'm a little surprised at that. Teague is another guy who's got a green light. Now the 3 from Pearson. This one goes. That's a big bucket for Texas. You feel like he's got the green light to take a ball screen and go. This guy can really score. He's got 5 points in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Pearson jumper right baseline.
Got the ball, kept it up high, and finished at the rim. And so the Bears, that was a possession going nowhere. There's another shot by Pearson. He's just trying to get into a groove.
Vandu can't hit the 3. Nijal Pearson, the rebound. He takes it all the way. And shot blocked out of bounds by Gillette.
Hands, and he just finished. That's an instant fast break.
Quick hands there on the perimeter by Jared Butler. Pass underneath Pearson. Baylor by 18 now. Their high water mark, the lead this evening. Nijal Pearson, that one rolls in for him. Overs by the Bears. Texas State, Pearson, 3 is good from the right side.
That's a great play by Az.
Non-operative procedure is the terminology that we were told with Tristan Clark that keeps him out of the game. Alley-oop. And Texas State the other way, a 3. That one is no good. Nijal Pearson, a 3 is good.
And so back.
Marlon Davis for Texas State gives the ball to Isaiah Small. Here is Pearson, a 3. This one is a couple of free throws knocked down. Bears lead by 10, 23 seconds remaining. Pearson firing a 3, and he's hit another 3.
You know, Prairie View is putting some pressure in the full court. This is going to be on and off all game long from Prairie View. They're going to change defenses, just try to get the Bobcats out of sync.
There. Pass into the paint, goes off the hands of Coleman. Bobcats with the way. Pearson has his shot blocked. What a play by...
To shoot over Isaiah Small is definitely an accomplishment.
Nice handles here from Harrell. Good ball movement. Pearson corner 3 rattles home for Nijal Pearson against Power 5 opposition. They play Texas coming up. Cal on Monday as well. And if you have Patterson, you're probably not winning those games anyway.
A couple really tough shots. The one over Small, and that one was not an easy shot to finish.
Here's Pearson lining up a long 3 and connects. Texas State. Pearson the other way on the pull-up. And Nijal Pearson's up to 15 points.
Lister from Prairie View has been very impressive, number 4. He is so athletic. I would call, in our terms, I would call him uber athletic. He can get to the rim, cause a lot of trouble on the defensive end.
Matches are largest of the night. Davis on the drive. Got cut off on the baseline there by Williams. That shot is up and in for Nijal Pearson. This the 34th all-time meeting. The series, the Bobcats lead decidedly 26-7. And what a fitting start for the Bobcats as Nigel Pearson scores the first 2 points of the season.
A great shot elevated over the defender, and we've already got a steal by Isaiah Small and then an assist from Mason Harrell. Bobcats are coming out on TLU is undersized, and so their post players will step out and shoot threes, which is going to force like Eric Terry and some of the big fives for Texas State to guard on the perimeter.
The depth at the 5 for Texas State. Terry with that foul, his first. Sule is his backup. Here's Pearson lining up a 3. Good as he is going to need some help this year. Pearson helping himself tonight, though. He is on. Nice move by Andrade. He's been pretty impressive in the early going here for TLU. Two-time honorable mention all conference player, Nigel Pearson.
Cameron, the first half, Sule and Terry struggled from the floor a little bit. Second half turned around and were awesome. And
Nigel Pearson stays perfect there from Deshaun Davidson, junior out of Waukegan, Illinois. One of the Bobcat newcomers. Pearson from the top and has his first miss of the year. Gets it back and lays it in. He's the most since 1978 for the team. Yep, 40 years ago, and now.
I'm glad I got the book of facts right here beside me.
Pearson with the shot clock winding down. The way by Nigel Pearson.
Adding another stat to his line for this evening.
Here's Pearson on the pull-up.
Lui, il le voit comme un arrière, un pur arrière. Ce soir, il n'a pas le choix. Il doit lui confier la main. Shoot raté de Boubacar Touré là, qui a vraiment rempli son rôle de tour dissuasif à l'intérieur. Et la faute derrière l'Indir sur Touré. Gagné à Évreux. Et Nantes s'est qualifié à Toulouse. Mathis Keita à 3 points, c'est raté le rebond. Perdu par Etienne Carr, récupéré par Jovante Relic. Mathis Keita avec Nigel Pearson. Et le dunk, non, raté de la Jiméité, servi.
The final game of the regular season, number 2 seed though on the line in Mobile. The Bobcats against South Alabama as Small flushes it down. Arguably one of the greatest players in program history. Pearson, the all-time leading scorer at Texas State, as Small off the assist from
Texas State was getting in Coach Casper was calling for a specific set down this time. And again, really good patience by the Bobcats trying to get the best shot. Really good look there by Adams.
All the 4 for the Bobcats: Harrell, Asbury, Pearson, Terry, and Small. Pearson inside is Small. Bobcats again, a great job. This team has been there and done that. But when you consider the time left, the opponent, the size of the deficit now, the Mountain have been firmly in control of this game for the outset. Scott, that's his spot. That's his shot on Monday against Coastal. Pearson finds Sule, open. although the Bobcats played well without him, built an 18-point lead in the first half, but really were unable to.
When they were up at Little Rock playing, and so it's not an indicator of anything they're going to win, but it sure gets you ready to go for that second half.
Tour est là, qui a vraiment rempli son rôle de tour dissuasif à l'intérieur. Et la faute derrière l'Indir sur tour du par Etienne Carr, récupéré par Jovante Redick. Mathis Keita avec Nigel Pearson. Et le dunk, non, raté de la Jiméité, servi.
Into the final game of the regular season, number 2 seed though on the line in Mobile. The Bobcats against South Alabama as Small flushes it down. Arguably one of the greatest players in program history. Pearson, the all-time leading scorer at Texas State, as Small off the assist from all the four for the Bobcats. Harrell, Asbury, Pearson, Terry, and Small. Pearson inside is Small. Bobcats again, a great job.
3% shooting.
mi-distance. Et Michael Stockton à la main qui essaie de trouver une position et il marque malgré la défense du joueur des Mauges là qui vont tenter de recoller avec Lassan Chroma face à Nigel Pearson. La porte qui s'est ouverte pour Chroma et à mi-distance il ne rate jamais et il provoque même là désormais. La chorale a repris en se prend l'avant. C'est Pearson qui vient intercepter la balle dans les mains de Lassan Chroma et il le perd ce ballon. C'est suivi par Mathis Kaitak pour 100 à 12 sur 24. Et c'est Lassan Chroma qui va avoir ce ballon. Ah, il a le pied sur la ligne pour ce shoot raté et le rebond.
Number of categories, it would be a stunner if you don't find the number 22 up in the rafters someday. Foul here against Pearson.
Désormais. La chorale a repris, on se prend l'avant. C'est Pearson qui vient intercepter la balle dans les mains de Lassane Chroma. Et il le perd ce ballon, c'est suivi par Mathis Keita. Avec Mathis Keita. Et la balle déjà interceptée par Stockton, mais récupérée derrière par Nigel Pearson.
Allez, encore une fois, la récupération. Ouais, il suffisait de dire ça pour que, eh bien...
Selem qui fait son apparition sur le parquet dans ce début de troisième quart-temps. Et Pearson là, qui chipe la balle dans les mains de Sadio Doucouré, ça fait partie de ses qualités à Pearson.
Three, but again, the Mountaineers weren't at full strength here in San Marcos either, so these two teams have not seen each other with their full. Bobcats on the attack, Pearson inside Soule, had it ripped away. Ball knocked away again by Pearson. The pull-up game of the Sun Belt.
It's on a Sunday.
On a Sunday, 1 o'clock at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Pearson the steal. Took it away from him. Again, the Bobcats have led for all but 14 seconds tonight.
That was a great steal.
Ouais, le bon.
His hands more.
Allez, encore une fois, la récupération. Ouais, il suffisait de dire ça pour que, eh bien.
Created live ball turnovers, and so Texas State is definitely got to be stronger with the basketball and limit those easy opportunities.
Delph with Pearson.
Is your 17-footer, yes. The Big 12 and the Big 10.
Yeah, pretty remarkable, but it's kind of
There's a double dribble. Warren from the corner, 5 on the shot clock. The three nearly went.
Duke in November. As Pearson buries a jumper, he's got 5. Panthers again attack aggressively with the left hand. Kane.
That could be a recipe for disaster just because of the way Georgia State plays and their personnel, which there you see Big Williams. Remember, he had success and knew that he could have an opportunity for a big night.
Williams attacks. Terry the block. Williams got it back it again. Shot clock is down to 15 for the Panthers.
And Texas State just does do a nice job contesting shots, and then you have got, and you know, that's one of the keys is, you know, one of our conversations with Coach Casper, to have a chance to win the league. You have to be able to put this horns look when they get to short seconds. You're going to have to get it up.
Drive inside. Williams and the foul. Or more. Desperation time for Georgia State. Allen still scoreless in the second half.
You want the guys that you know that are really good, like a Nijal Pearson, just like for them, like an Ike Smith and a Quan Jackson. You want to make
Johnson the miss, but Eaton chases down the rebound. And then Johnson lost it. Here's Nijal Pearson to run in the final 5 minutes that they want to end this 4-game slide. Johnson, a step back for the Wolves. No. To a bye right to the Sun Belt Conference semifinals in New Orleans next month.
And that's huge for the teams. Again, let them catch their legs. And Brandon's done a great job on the defensive end, really limiting the touches and taking away a lot of things Louisiana likes to do.
Nice drive from Malik.
Things not falling tonight, but for Texas State to be good long term throughout the rest of the season, they've got to have
Était discret en première mi-temps. C'est à lui de prendre ses responsabilités sur la deuxième. Et là, il rate son lancer.
Saison. Et, le bon ballon, ce décalage à droite, le shoot à 3 points qui ne fonctionne pas.
Pas Redic au niveau de la prononciation, c'est un américain, ce n'est pas un joueur des Balkans. Le contre rouennais en mouvement, early. Il va préférer s'approcher du cercle pour shooter en toute fin de possession, mais c'est raté.
And again, back to those keys, defend without fouling. Texas State has gotten some fouls early in this first half that are just careless to the mark and got it done to get themselves in a position to possibly get the second seed, which unfortunately they lost to South Alabama.
Best I can do. Speaking of, Williams from long range. Mountaineers 2.
They don't come down and get a quick three-point look. You see O'Shawn Williams a little short there. Pearson.
Monaco, justement. Monaco, l'adversaire de Chalon demain. Monaco qui se présentera à la Meilleray samedi 24 octobre également à 20h. Collins à 3 points, le jeu a repris, c'est raté, mais le remporté les Antibois en 2015 et derrière ils avaient gagné les playoffs d'accession pour retrouver la Jeep Elite. Un outard pour la remise en jeu avec Clinton Early qui déclenche à 3 points, ça rentre pour Early.
The Bobcats are a lot of the world on fire offensively either. They're shooting 38%, but again, the defense and the rebounding has been the key to this one, and
and executed on the offensive end, each of them getting an easy layup.
Eden in the first half for the Wolves only scored 8 compared to Little Rock's 26. Quick trigger three-pointer.
Free throws. People other than starters make free throws.
He's averaging 8 off the bench, and he gets his first bucket. Williams somehow snakes that in. Sule averaging 6.7.
That was a real soft shot he took. It just rolled around and went in.
Williams does the same.
And you know, again, I think he had been over 1 for that one, but he didn't hesitate to put that in up and make it.
The lead is 3. Williams leaves it.
They have to hit the guy immediately, the roll, and if they don't get it to him then, it's going to be tough. And JD came off the screen and backed out.
This for 3.
Had the length to play that, a zone defense, had the length to play it. This year they've just stepped up the game with pressure defense.
State.
This is a matchup, again, they have a small lineup they can play what I call small ball. And so Brant, if he continues to score at this rate, he'll do that before midway in the season. A little bit sloppy right here at the beginning.
Here's Brock Weaver, sophomore out of San Antonio, at guard right now for TLU.
He gives you the advantage of him of the two is because he's a great passer and he can help set up other players. But the flip side is exactly what you mentioned, Brink.
But they have figured out a way to win without being a great free throw shooting team.
Word and count it.
LA Rams taking on the Patriots in Atlanta. Super Bowl 55 or 53 or whatever.
Harris to Jones.
Bartley, quick 3, fire, and King comes in and Terry goes out. I'll get it right as Terry picks up the foul.
The difference is against that zone, he's able to catch and shoot.
He really had a good shot, other than Shaw knocking down a jumper a few moments ago.
He has a 3-year-old daughter, Addison, at home, who he says she is everything that he does, everything day in and day out for. She's changed.
Backs it back out of the lane, stops his dribble, looking to go inside, can't. Goes to the top, McDaniel, quick trigger 3, wouldn't go down. And the rebound.
67. It was Tukey Brown in that contest that led the Eagles with 21 points. Here's Quan Jackson with his first shot. Here's Brown at the wing, gets the screen from Monte Glenn. There's the double team.
A little bit early on in this game. Here's Thomas. Ball knocked out of his hands.
Il est à 24% seulement, à 9 points de moyenne. Carlton Dimanche qui ressort avec la San Chroma. L'Américain qui déclenche son shoot à 3 points. Il le rentre. La remise en jeu. Côté Choletais avec la San Chroma. Décalé Collins à 3 points. Ça rentre pour l'Américain. Avec Chauncey Collins. Il a la main chaude, Collins. Il va décaler Rovat à 3 points. C'est raté pour le Slovène, mais le rebond offensif. Monaco, justement, Monaco, l'adversaire de Chalon demain. Monaco qui se présentera à la Meilleray samedi 24 octobre également à 20h. Collins à 3 points, le jeu a repris, c'est raté, mais le prêt parabolique. Dernière possession dans ce troisième quart-temps. Il y a 9 points d'avance pour la chorale de Rouen. Est-ce que Cholet va arriver à réduire cet écart? Lassane Chroma à 3 points, il le rate. Il a le pied sur la ligne pour ce shoot raté et le rebond pour les Choletais avec Stockton. Chroma à nouveau devant Nigel Pearson. C'est encore raté le rebond.
Qui essaye de... Attention, voilà. Bon ballon avec ce shoot qui ne passe. Et le ballon là dans la raquette avec Horton sur un boulevard. Et dans... Repoussé par le cercle, ce ballon. Gédéon Pitard qui va décaler Sadio Doucouré à 3 points, ça rentre pour l'ancien Corallais. Ils ont remporté les Antibois en 2015 et derrière ils avaient gagné les playoffs d'accession pour retrouver la Jeep Elite avec Jean-Marc Panza. Il est loin du cercle. Doucouré face à Nigel Pearson. Le shoot à 3 points de Sadio Doucouré, c'est raté, c'était un petit peu mieux depuis quelques minutes. Clinton Early à 3 points, ça tombe dedans et ça égalise. Préparation. Qui a rayonné à la main. Clinton Early, c'est raté à trop tard pour la remise en jeu. Avec Clinton Early qui déclenche à 3 points, ça rentre pour Early. Ça Chalon-sur-Saône plutôt, 81 à 65. Chalon-Reims, Champagne Basket désormais, c'est qualifié à Kaisersberg à 79 sur un panier à 3 points de Clévalo au buzzer pour donner la qualification à la chorale. Dernière victoire de Laurent Pluvy qui sera
that time. And here comes App State, a two-possession game with 9:20 to go in the first half. Forced long-range three.
Created live ball turnovers, and so Texas State's definitely got to be stronger with the basketball and limit those easy opportunities.
Delph with Pearson blocked there from Lewis. Really good defender.
Yeah, he is so long, Lewis. His arms, his length causes Pearson a little bit of trouble because he really has to arch the ball.
Shot clock at 3.
Andre Fox! Didn't do a very good job of getting the ball in the paint, settled for a lot of perimeter jump shots. Look for them to really make an emphasis getting the ball inside.
8 on the shot clock for the freshman Griffin from Miami. Quick pull-up 3, no. A little bit more common as more conferences go to a 20-game schedule. 5-game conference home stretch.
Freeze in there, a couple easy offensive rebounds, and Terry able to take advantage of it.
Warren across the lane, the driving kick. 3 was done with this team now in his 7th season. A longtime head coach, formerly at Incarnate Word for 9 seasons, and then at Stephen F. Austin. He's got 11 now, just about more than halfway to his average of almost 20 a game. Narcissus, clean look and nailed. Warren from the corner, 5 on the shot clock. The 3. Nearly went. It's a precarious world as a mid-major. Azor drives, sends it to the corner, a three, is good!
As Davis has the basket. In fact, the Bobcats have been thoroughly dominant in first half so far the past 2 weeks. Three from the corner.
Here at Georgia State.
Missed three from the corner following the made three from Asbury. The Bobcats have played 8 players in this game. 7 have scored.
Offense, and also to conserve a little bit of energy for Nijal Pearson and some of these guys that are going to have to play extended minutes for Texas State.
Williams contested 3. Shot clock is down to 15 for the Panthers.
And Texas State just does do a nice job contesting shots, and then you have guys, and you know, that's one of the keys is, you know, one of our conversations with Coach Casper, to have a chance to win the league, you have to be able to.
Into this game.
Yeah, this is a game, you know, this is a tournament time kind of game that teams have got to show up and you've got to get.
Pearson puts the Bobcats back in front with 2:35 to go.
This is one of those times you would expect the guards to really step up, and especially
more. Desperation time for Georgia State. Allen still scoreless in the second half. Night turnover, but then get it back. Wishart to Jackson for a 3. And McCann the rebound.
The Eagles need to get some quick offense here, some easy buckets, or either get to the line and make free throws, and then they've got to create some turnovers. By Texas State, Nijal came off a double stagger and just was wide open. No one came with him from the Eagles and left him with an easy 3-point attempt.
And there's Ike Smith at open 3.
Distance. Et Michael Stockton à la main qui essaie de trouver une position et il marque malgré la défense du joueur des Mauves là qui vont tenter de recoller avec Lassan Chroma face à Nijal Pearson. La porte qui s'est ouverte pour Chroma et à mi-distance il ne rate jamais et il provoque même la. Avec Sadio Doucouré qui va attaquer le cercle. C'est raté pour Doucouré. Pour les Sharks d'Antibes, Sadio Doucouré. Avec Clinton Yorley et le marché de l'Américain.
Season defining, and they really stepped up to the mark and got it done to get themselves in a position to possibly get the second seed.
Number of categories. It would be a stunner if you don't find the number 22 up in the rafters someday. Foul here
against Troy. Josh Ajayi wasn't one of them. He'll need to come alive tonight for South Alabama. Chad Lott will take the first shot. Knocks it down. After trailing by as many as a dozen. Drop step, drive, and unlucky.
About as even a ball game as we've seen.
Mitchell attacks. Off the window, and he was face
hands more if I'm Richie Riley.
Mitchell goes weak side, drop step, rejected.
Azor, 17-footer, yes. Already 2 shot clock violations forced by Texas State.
Those games.
And it was right before Christmas when they won that game at Cal Poly. And so in his office, which is just in the bowels of it, Warren missed it. Sparling, the Washington State native. And JUCO product saves it. Azor with the left. No, it's tipped out.
December he had success and knew that he could have an opportunity for a big night.
Williams attacks. Terry the block. Williams got it back at again.
What does this Horns look when they get to short seconds? They're going to have to get it up.
Drive inside. Williams and the foul. In the Sun Belt Conference at 38%. Bobcats have hit 3 threes. Eagles none, as McCadden has a lay-in.
And get his feet set, lined up, and when you do that, he's going to hit a better percentage than what you've seen his overall stats show.
Another block, this time.
And I think one of the reasons he's not been a factor as much tonight is Texas State has improved.
The Bobcats haven't scored in more than 2 minutes, but again, the lead at 17. McCadden can't cash it in.
Spot and just don't convert at the end. And so that just deflates your offensive intensity.
And as
Wisely moved up the lane line, gave him an easy pressure release. Nice little 5-foot jump shot.
nice baseline drive with a tank there from Willis, but a game coming up on 13 minutes to go.
And you're seeing this is a lot more patience, a little more what I expected from Arkansas State this second half on offense.
Again, 100 points for the Bobcats last Thursday. That was their most versus a Division I opponent in 8 years. And on Saturday, a bye right to the Sun Belt Conference semifinals in New Orleans next month.
And that's huge for the teams. Again, let them catch their legs back.
Comes Frater, nice drive, has it blocked. What other foul?
And Brand has done a great job on the defensive end, really limiting the touches and taking away a lot of things Louisiana likes to do.
Nice drive from Malik
Frater in this league.
Again, Texas State's defense, the trademark of Coach Casper since he came on board in Sun Belt year.
Again, they're in a little bit of a zone press here. They've got to make sure they get to shooters. And that's a great drive by Hardy. The hot hand definitely. And again, they're taking a lot of perimeter jump shots, and that was one of the things that Coach Casper really emphasized to them.
Man, 30-28, ULM on top. Nice drop step. Powell, though, can't finish with
about every time. Johnson outside being guarded by Pearson. He'll take it inside on the drive. A lot of contact. No call on that. He's able to knock it down the short jumper. Johnson looks for the drive. He'll take it to the hole, spinning in and out, no good. Davis has 33% shooting. Cajuns with the first possession here in the second half. Johnson on the drive, puts it up off glass, won't go. Guarded by Harrell. Johnson bluffs the three, guarded by Pearson. Now he'll launch the three. That's actually the drive. Tries to get a screen from Smith. He'll put it back into the hands of Johnson. He'll drive it inside and put the layup home.
He's averaging 8 off the bench, and he gets his first bucket. Williams somehow snakes that in. Sule averaging 6.7.
That was a real soft shot he took. It just rolled around and went in.
Williams does the same.
I'm sure that's Coach Kearns has just said everybody's got to go out and do their job to give Appalachian State a chance to win today.
Turnaround is an air-point shooter, 41%, but doesn't seem to take enough of them. Open from the corner, Fours passes up a three, drives instead and finishes. Charles Sharp for the all-time scoring record at Texas State now.
Texas State is really working hard on the defensive end on those handoff
figures in his career. There's Lewis, little right-handed.
Fields saving some time.
Yep. You can see John Beck, Arkansas State in the man-to-man defense.